Hello students, in today's class we are going to study about another data structure, that is Q. Little bit introduction was given to you all about Q. A Q is a linear data structure that works in first in first out manner. For example, I've given you all that if we stand in a queue when we are going to book some tickets, or then what we need to do, we need to stand in a queue, and what happens, the person who comes first gets the ticket first and then leaves his place. So that is how a queue works. Now in a queue, what we are having front, another one is rear. So what happens, from the rear end we keep on inserting the elements, and from the front end we keep on deleting the elements. That is, in queue we will insert from one end and we will delete from another end. Now using an array, let us see how a queue works. So I have taken here an array that consists of 6 elements. Okay, so the index will start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now here we are having two variables, one named as rear, another one is front, which is indicating the rear end and the front end of the queue. Initially what we have to do, we have to initialize rear and front with -1. This is indicating that my queue is empty. If rear is -1 and front is -1, that means my queue is empty. Next, when we insert an element in a queue, then what will happen? Rear will get increased by 1. For example, suppose I'm inserting the first element in the queue. Let the first element be 5. Okay, so what will happen? Rear will get increased by 1. Now rear will be pointing to this 0 index. So rear is pointing to this 0 index. You'll follow the color of the arrow. This blue color arrow is indicating the rear one. So when we insert an element, rear will become rear will be indicating to 0 element. Next, if we insert another element, suppose I'm inserting 7. Now rear will be indicating, or rear will be pointing to index number 1, and it will get increased by 1. So as we insert one element in the queue, rear will keep on increasing by 1. Now if I insert the next element, suppose 9, now rear will be pointing to index number 2. Similarly, when we delete an element from the queue, in that case, front will get increased by 1. So what I'll do, suppose I want to, or we will be deleting from the front end. So the first element is 5. So when we are removing 5 from here, front will get increased by 1 and front will become 0. So now front is pointing to this 0 index. Okay. Now how many elements are there in the queue? 2 elements are there, 7 and 9. Now if I want to delete one more element from the queue, then front will become 1 now. And now front is pointing to this index number 1. This is how the rear and the front end works in a queue. Okay. Now this implementation we will see through our programming. Let us see how we can implement this through our programming. Now this is our program. So our program will start with import java.util.start. I am importing the package util. As we are taking the input through scanner class. Next, the class name I have given as QArray. Then we are taking the variables as I, front, rear, item means the element that is to be inserted, and max is going to give you the maximum size of the queue. Then we are taking the array as int a. Then there is a constructor queue_array. Here we are initializing the front and the rear end with a -1. And we are creating the array. Then I have written the main function. Now inside the main function, we will be having the menu for inserting, deleting and displaying the queue. Now based on the user choice, the functions will be performed. So I have created an object, as we are calling the other methods from main method, which is static. So with the help of the object, we are calling the other methods, that is insert method, delete method and display method. Next, let us see the insert method. Inside insert method, we have to check a condition here. What is the condition? Now, if rear plus 1 greater than equals to max, that is the maximum size of the array. If rear plus 1 is greater than the maximum size of the array, that means what? My queue is full. That is overflow condition. That means I cannot insert any more element in the queue. Otherwise, what we will do? We can insert the element in the queue. That means we have to take that element from the user as input. So scanner class we have used, and then enter the element. Then inside item, we are taking the element as input. Now, what is the initial value of rear? Initial value of rear is -1. So when we will insert an element, that will get inserted in the 0th location. So we are increasing rear equals to rear plus 1. We are increasing rear by 1. And then we are inserting the element inside the array. That is a of rear equals to item. In this way, this insert function will continue. Next is delete function. Now in delete function, what we have to check? We have to check whether front is equals to rear or not. If front is equals to rear, that means my queue is empty, underflow condition. Otherwise, what we have to do? We have to increase front by 1, and then we have to remove the element. Remove the element means just from a of front, we will keep the element inside this item, and we will print the deleted item is item. Then comes the display function. Now inside display function, again we are having a condition that if front equals to rear, that means my queue is empty. So it will display my queue is empty. Otherwise, it will display the elements which are present in the queue. For that, we are using a for loop. It will start from front plus 1, and it will continue up to rear end, and then it will print a of I. Now with this, the program of queue ends here. Now let us compile this code and let us see the output. So compile, no syntax error, right click, void main, OK. Now select the option 1 for inserting, 2 to delete, 3 to display and 4 to exit. Now if I press 2 in the beginning, then what will happen? It will show queue is empty, as we have not inserted a single element in the array or in the queue. In the second option, I'll give 1. That means I want to insert. Now enter the element. Suppose I'm entering 5. So one element is inserted. Again, if I want to insert one more element, so I'll press 1, enter, and then the second element, suppose 7. Okay. Now if I want to display it, so press 3. So what are the elements that are in the queue? 5 and 7. Now I want to delete one element from the queue. Then I'll press 2. Okay. So the element that is in the front side will get deleted. So 5 is getting deleted from the queue. Now again, if you display the queue, so what it is showing, the elements in the queue are 7, as we have already deleted 5 from the queue. Okay, so this was the program of queue using AND array. Now this is a simple queue program. We are having 2 more queues. One is DQ and one is circular queue. Now in next classes, we will be doing DQ and circular queue. So let us end our class today here. Thank you.